Right, hi there everyone. My name's Richard, and Flare audio is the worst. Okay, Flare audio is the worst. Now I realise that's a very broad statement and a very big statement. So if I'm going to make it, I better have a good reason for doing so. So let me go through the reasons why Flare audio is the worst. Okay, for starters, they have the worst reviews on Amazon. Okay, if you have a look for earplugs on Amazon, whenever you see Flare audio, their average review scores are the worst. Yep. So their average review scores and their one-star review scores are worse than every other product on the page always. Okay. I've done this search dozens of times. I've seen quite a few different Flare audio products. But in all cases, yep, 3.5, 21% one star. In every case, when you compare that with the competition, yeah, 4.2, 4% one star, every time they're last. All right. Now, look, I expect that it's possible that for some searches there might be a case where Flare audio aren't last, and if you there out on the interweb can find that example and send it to me, put it in the comments. But I wasn't able to find a single example for any search for an earbud where Flare audio aren't the lowest rated product. Yeah, look at this one. This one, what are they? 4.26%. Like it's a big difference, yeah. The scores are massively better than Flare Audio. Okay, so when it comes to reviews and ratings on Amazon, yeah, and how often they absolutely fail, 4% for this competitor, yeah, versus 4% the competitor fails. Flare Audio, this one 18%. So they're the absolute worst. But look, don't take Amazon's word for it. Take any one of these brand names, come over to Trustpilot, and then check them out here. And on Trustpilot, looking at all of the earbud brands, Flare Audio is the worst. Okay, they have the worst scores. They have the most amount of one-star ratings. Yeah. If you look at, well, as of today, if you look at their last 20 include 8 one-star reviews. Yeah, 40% one star. So when I say they're the worst reviewed on Amazon, and then they're the worst reviewed on Trustpilot. Okay, but they're innovators, yeah? They're trying to create something that helps people. It's okay, you would think, for their product not to work all the time for every person. That's fine. But gee whiz, tell people, look, they don't always work, and if they don't work for you, we'll give you a refund. That's not how it works at Flare Audio. What they do is they massively overstate on their website how well received their products are. Look at these scores for the Karma. Yeah, this is like a 4.6 or something. 79% 5 star, 1%, less than 1%. Yeah. Um, give them a give them a 1 star. Let's have a look at that exact same product here. Same product. Yeah. 44% 5 star, 17% 1 star. There's no way to actually explain that as being different scores on different sites. This is an artificially inflated positive review position that Flair puts together so that people don't realise that their products are just so problematic that they just outright fail for so many people. All right, but maybe you can get a refund. Well, no, you can't. Yeah, they have a 100-day money back guarantee, but it's not accessible. If you buy them in New York, for example, you'll have to ship them back to the UK. Yep, and you'll have to do that using a track service. Yeah, that's the deal. You buy them locally, you have to do an international tracked return, which of course is more than the cost of the item, so you can't access the refund. So when I say Flare Audio is the worst, what I mean is their average review scores are the worst of any similar product. They fail more often than any other product. Their failure rate is the worst. Their business practices and their honesty when it comes to accurately and truthfully representing whether there's any problems with their product is the worst. There's no other earbud company that does this. All of the others fairly accurately and reasonably represent the fail rate of their products. Flair's the only one that does this. Yeah? If you go through all of these other brands, have a look at their homepages, have a look at their websites, they don't do it, just Flair. And Flair's the only one that I could find with this super onerous return policy. So for all of those reasons, I put it to you that Flair Audio is the worst, the absolute worst. Now, I'm not saying that their products never work or they have helped no one. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they fail very, very often. They're the worst rated. They engage in deceptive marketing practices and they have the worst refund policy. So if you're considering buying a Flair Audio product, keep that in mind. If you're considering giving them an award for something, keep that in mind. If you're considering investing with them, keep that in mind. My name is Richard McLaughlin. Okay, that is my name. Flair Audio, you are welcome to reach out to me and refute any of these things. Yeah, if there's anything that I've got wrong with regard to the facts and the evidence here, you tell me. You point it out to me. Yeah. I'm not overly concerned though because there's just no disputing that this is what's happening. Yeah. If you've had a bad experience with Flair, I would love to hear from you. If you've had a good experience with Flair, I would love to hear from you as well. Yeah. But when it comes to Flair being the worst, well, the facts do point to that being true. This video will now end.